Hey guys, today's a special day. We are gonna pick up a few new chickens. So the last batch of chickens we got was really old. We've got 9 chickens and we're only getting 1 egg a day during the winter, and we even suspect that's from one of our 2 chickens that we had before. So I'm getting the animal carriers and I'm gonna fill them with straw. And then we're gonna head to a local town here and go pick up 5 new chickens. It's just for our personal eggs, so we don't have to go to the store and get them anymore. Note to self: take your gloves off before you mess with straw. All right. So we got them. There's 3 in there, and there's 2 in there. Kind of hard to see. So now we're heading home. Got to stop at the supply store and get some stuff. There's the friendly neighbor dog. All right, so we picked up the chickens, and we talked to them a little bit about what they've been eating and whatnot. So these chickens are less than a year old. And they've been laying, he thought, pretty much every day, and they've been on a layer crumble mixed with, it looked like whole corn. It might have been some of it cracked. So our feed, we replaced the corn with peas, and we'll talk about that. I keep saying we'll talk about that more, but we've had mixed results with that. So the first batch of chickens we got that was raised on corn, they switched to the peas really well. And then the older chickens that we got this last time, they don't care for the peas all that much. So we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, we're on our way to the feed store to pick up a few items, and we'll see you back at home. All right, so we made it back with the chickens. They're probably wondering what they've gotten themselves into, because here we are in a winter wonderland, and they came from dirt. So what we need to do, there's a little bit of an issue possibly with introducing the chickens in the winter. So we've only done this in the summer, and when you do it in the summer, the chickens can be outside, and you know, when you introduce chickens, sometimes, you know, there's a pecking order, and either these ones will peck on the old chickens, or the old chickens will peck on the new chickens. And during the summer, they have a lot of room to run around and get away from each other. But in the winter, the chickens basically hang out underneath the chicken coop or in the chicken coop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna section off the chicken coop so that all the chickens have access to the nest boxes, and we're gonna provide a separate, our old chickens that we already had, we'll put them by the chicken door so they can come and go like they normally do. And so their water and their food will be outside like it usually is. And then the new chickens, we're going to put their water and feed inside the coop with them, but we'll have it separated inside. So I'm not going to let the chickens out just yet. We're going to get this all set up first, and then we'll take the chickens over there and let them into the coop. So I'm just going to grab these tools. I'm also going to hang the chicken water and chicken feeders from the ceiling, so that it's hard, since there's straw in there, it's actually hard to get them flat so that the water doesn't spill out. So I'm going to hang them, and we'll see how that does. So if you want to follow me in, we'll go check this out inside the chicken yard. So what we got is this stuff. It's just plastic poultry netting. So we'll just run a couple of strips of that across the inside of the coop and staple it up, and hopefully that'll keep them apart from each other. So we'll get going on that, and then we'll get the feeders and the waters hooked up. Jones was just asking if we were going to hang the cabbages at the same time, so Hillary got a couple of cabbages at the store when we picked up the chickens. And she read somewhere that having cabbages hanging there for the chickens to peck will actually distract them from focusing on the new chickens, or the new chickens focusing on the old chickens, so kind of a distraction. So we'll hang one cabbage on one side and one cabbage on the other, and so see how that works. Alright, so that's one layer, and then we'll go ahead and put one across the top too, just to be sure they don't jump over from the roosts or anything. I'm not a very good aim with this, trying to hit the netting. Okay, so we've got this side blocked off, which is where the other chickens will be. There's the ramp with the door, so our old chickens can come up there and they can access those 4 nest boxes over there. And then this side is where we'll have the new chickens, and we're gonna hang a feeder and a waterer in here, and then they'll just bed down on the floor probably tonight, but
hopefully.
The idea is that we want to keep them in here so they get used to this being their home, and during the summer you can just shut them in. I guess introducing new chickens is always a problem, but the idea is that you shut them in here for a day or 3, and then they start thinking of this as home, and then when they go out they always want to come back in at night, and they don't try to go find some other place to roost at night. So we also want them to lay in the nest boxes, and this may be, supposedly they have an instinct to go find the nest boxes because they're small and they're private, but there's a possibility that since we have all this nice straw on the floor that they'll just make nests down here and lay down here. So that's another thing we'll have to keep an eye out for. So I'm going to get working on those hangers to hang the feeder and the water, and then we'll be done and we'll be able to let the chickens in. So I've just got these T-post clips. I'm going to bend them, and those will be the hooks for the chain. I've got a little bag of chain here, and then I'll put a hook at the top and screw it in, and then I'll put a hook at the bottom, and that'll hold the water. So I think they're pretty stiff. That should work pretty good. Okay. So I talked to Hillary, and she corrected me. We're only hanging the water, and we'll just set the feed in a dish on the floor. So. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Hillary saw a hole she wanted me to tack up real quick, so I'll do that, and then we should be done. Okay. I think it's about time to get the chickens. Alright, those girls went in a lot easier. Uh-oh. Get the front. Let's see, my hook is in here somewhere. It's not hooked on the front of that cage, is it?
Look in the front of the cage? For what?
The hook that was on the end of this chain. Alright, we'll just have to make another. So these are Americana chickens, and so far we've already gotten 3 eggs just in the trip home. They were born in July last year, so they're just under a year old. Or, I don't know, that's a lot under a year old.
7 months?
Yeah. But we've already gotten 3 eggs from them. One of them was pink and 2 of them were blue. So we'll come back and give you an update, see what they ate, and how they're settling in. Alright, it's been about 24 hours, and we're going to check on the new chickens. We've obviously checked on them more than just this, but wanted to give you guys a final update before we end the video. So these are all our older chickens, and we have one of the Americana or Easter eggers already, but we'll go ahead and take a look here see how the new troops are doing. This morning, actually, one of them had snuck over to the other side and came out the chicken door. But these chickens are quite tame compared to the ones that we just got. And so she basically just walked right up to me, and I caught her pretty easily. And one other thing I won't be able to update, you can't really see it from here, but they've been pecking on that cabbage. And you can see this one. This is on the side for where our old chickens are. They've got theirs about half eaten, maybe more. So as far as checking to see if they like peas or not, I'm not sure this is going to be the greatest time because they've had full bellies. But let me just open the door over here, and we'll grab the feed container and get a look at them. So let's grab that food container. We'll see what you guys have there. Alright, you can kind of see that cabbage there. I've got it eaten down quite a bit. And let's look down in here if we can get this straw taken out. Alright, so there's still grain and peas in here. It's been mostly covered with straw, so maybe they haven't seen it. And Jones put some oyster shell in here for calcium, for helping them lay. So the jury's still out. I think it's still mostly peas, but we'll see. This is their second feeding already. We feed them twice a day. Jones fed them probably about half an hour or an hour ago, so this is still pretty recent. But we'll keep you updated on that. I don't know if it'll be a video, but we'll mention it in a blog or something to keep you guys updated on that, and we'll just let you know how they're doing. There's one little lady over there sitting in the nest box, hopefully giving us an egg. But these chickens are nice and calm, which is good. We had a little bit of ice on the water this morning, but still had some liquid there for them to drink. So decided we'll probably leave them in tonight, and maybe tomorrow we will let them out and see how they do. The one that got out today kind of had to be by itself because the other ones were pecking on it. So, but if we're out here with them, then we should be able to watch that. All right.